上個禮拜咧就衰收尾啦，咁啊噴 primer 佢衰咗啦。今日咧又係另一個星期六啦，今日又重新開始過，準備好充足。琴晚已經開始搭晒呢個嘢，咁所以今日咧就冇咁趕，就可以慢慢咁噴啦。咁而你見到我呢個木位啦，都放喺出邊，咁跟住咧bumper就係入面噴。Let's go.
My paint booth was improved once again compared to the last episode. To make sure that there is minimal dust inside the booth, I even covered and wetted the floor. Hopefully the outcome will be good.
上顏色之前咧，又會用sealer去噴翻2-3浸先。噴咗3浸 sealer，咁而家就等佢半個鐘，等佢 flash off 咗先。即係咩意思咧？即係等佢個油入面嗰啲化學物質蒸發咗之後咧，你先走去再噴顏色。如果唔係咧，佢未乾晒你就噴上去咧，佢喺個顏色度滲出嚟，咁佢就會起泡，咁就唔好嘅。而家就係1點，咁我仲大把時間，咁就休息下食個嘢先。OK， 咁等緊 sealer 乾嘅時候咧，咁就嚟溝油啦。今日咧就要噴一個 bumper 加 side skirt 4極角啦，咁所以咧就應該要用多啲油，可能準備個20個安士睇下夠唔夠，然後再加多咗睇下點樣可以噴油。倒咗啲油落去啦。
之前就教啲槍先啦，咁我好似咧噴咗咁多次咧，都冇真係去講過個槍嘅 set up，除咗第一集之外啦。咁我覺得今集終於覺得自己知道做乜嘢。咁個風泵佢教到最大啦，因為我呢度咧有一個regulator 就可以教有幾多風。咁呢一支槍咧個操作咧就係咁樣嘅，佢有2度，第一度淨係出氣。咁你見到出氣嘅時候咧，呢度咧就會降咗落去啦，就幾多啊？40幾，咁就太多啦。我而家就想試下35左右。咁咧呢粒嘢咧就係嗰個 band 嘅大細啦，即係如果你開到擰去呢邊咧，咁佢就會好大個。咁我哋啲件唔係好大件就唔使咁大，陣間就教翻可能係咁長都有，即係喺呢個距離咁長都有。咁啊要試嘅。呢一個掣就係決定有幾多油出嚟。咁啊啲人咧就教咧撳實個掣，即係冇插任何嘢之後撳實個掣扭到盡，頂嘅時候咧就扭翻1/4個圈出嚟，咁就得㗎啦。攞個卡紙噴下睇下係咩樣嘅先。嗱，咁你見到40幾都 OK， 咁但係個 pattern 就有啲太闊啦，咁就收翻細啲先。OK， 就細少少。噴咗個 size skirt 先，因為呢個爆鼠嚟嘅，佢噴得唔好都冇所謂，因為係一個維修。噴之前咧又係抹一抹啦，抹幾層。
Finally, we can start painting the bumper. Always go light on the first coat. We are not looking for full coverage. Just lay it down nicely. Keep your hands steady and maintain a good distance. Okay, it was going pretty well, right? But some shit happened here.
What? 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 What should I do with this? 好熱啊！都 OK， 第一站 OK， 唔錯唔錯。咁啊，但係唔知做乜噴下，你啱啱見到啦，有一粒嘢噴咗落去，咁冇理由撩起佢嘅應該，夾起佢都幾伏嘅。繼續噴上去，冚咗佢，睇下會點。呢度有 rum 少少。 呢度都有少少溫，我睇唔到佢啦。唔緊要嘅，可以 wet sand 嘅，因為 single stage 嚟㗎嘛，你總可以磨平呢啲地方嘅。OK， 我就出去瞓。
At our last layer, we're gonna put on a wet coat by moving our hands rather slowly for maximum shine and gloss.
補完色啦，咁入面嗰度亦都噴咗3浸啦，咁大概就係咁啦。你會見到而家咧有啲位可能乾啊，我係唔擔心嘅，因為你記得啦，白色嘅地方喺下面啊嘛，上面嗰啲全部係紅色，係之前噴咗硬咗嘅。咁當我一 wet sand 嘅時候咧，呢度全部都可以 blend 得好靚嘅，因為你而家已經睇唔到有個底有印啦，係咪？咁啊，最後攞翻剩翻嘅少少油咧，就噴翻前面呢度啊，咁等佢好睇啲啊。大概遮車頭啦。咁跟住咧，亦都想 blend 埋呢度，因為呢度咧有少少崩咗爛咗。咁我其實咧，如果要認真整咧，就應該抿嘢上去抿平咗佢先嘅。咁但係今日個時間就唔允許。咁同埋咧 single stage 啊嘛，噴咗上去之後咧，其實好容易 blend 到嘅。咁有油好過冇油，係咪先
？At this point, when I'm editing this video, I'll tell you this. If you are to mask it off properly. Because the overspray got onto my windshield and it was a pain to remove. After a proper wash, it's time to fix the oversprays. I sanded that area down with 1000 grit, 2000 grit, and then I polished and compounded it. Honestly, the outcome wasn't so good because the lack of preparation. But hey, at least it's one color now. I can always repaint the fender if I care enough.
另一邊咧有啲位咧就磨咗落去嗰個底油度，第2次噴油嘅底油。咁呢個故事嘅教訓就係咧，如果你補油你就唔好咁大貪啦，咁就淨係噴完就算數啦，唔好掂佢啦咁樣。咁你可以睇到呢度亦都係我啲白色嗰啲油咧噴到嚟呢度啊嘛，跟住省嘅時候咧省走咗，因為啲油好薄。咁冇計啦，咁就咁樣由佢咯，都唔會好覺嘅。如果出到嚟個效果都係好衰嘅話，咪重新噴過咯，有乜大不了啫？
I let the bumper dry for 2 days and I put the splitter back on.
如果你有睇我呢個車體維修系列嘅話咧，你都記得咧上一集咧，我係用呢一啲咁嘅拉桿 splitter rod 咧去整嗰個 splitter 嘅。咁啦，但係咧，如果你有睇我落 track 嘅話咧，亦都知道咧係會撞到爛晒嘅。如果平時揸車揸得粗，落嗰啲 plaza 咧出去嗰啲車咧都會揞，咁揞下咧佢就會咬嘅，咁啊唔襟用嘅。咁所以咧，我今日咧就想試一個新嘅辦法，會用威亞嚟代替拉桿，一齊去睇下點整。11寸，就落啲 thread locker 落去。 哋翻入屋，咁而家就整條線啦。咁咧呢個 turnbuckle 其實都幾樣衰嘅，放喺個車度咁樣嘅一條嘢。咁咧我唔係好想見到呢個，咁咧所以呢個咧就會靠近個車架嗰邊。咁而睇落咧，我亦都唔需要整兩段嘅鐵線啦，我淨係需要咧即係一邊就穿落去呢度啦，另一邊就穿個圈圈。咁跟住咧呢邊就整翻一個適當長度嘅線，呢邊一個圈圈，呢邊一個圈圈，咁就得㗎啦。OK， 咁而家就嚟裝呢個指揮燈啦。係啊 ，feel 到呢個篤篤喺度頂住，有磨走少少啦。我啲塗改係接個邊邊，跟住放入去睇下佢邊個位撞，跟住就可以望到呢度白色呢度頂住咗。另一邊亦都係同樣做法啦。最後裝上去，梗係唔少得呢啲 JDM 嘅 washer 啦。
Well guys, this is it. The car is finally in one color. I know this has been a very long process and I want to take this time to appreciate that you stick around and watch my videos. Oh, by the way, you may notice that I didn't wet sand the bumper. 2 reasons. First, I was scared. I was kinda scared that I'm gonna burn through the color code again. And secondly, while I'm editing this video, the car already got a bunch of stone chips and it's meant to be driven, so I was like, I'm just gonna leave it like this. It looks good enough. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to leave a comment below, like and subscribe. See ya!